out for the shows and supporting our artists. We had some good shows so far this semester and last, and we're kind of towards the middle, so definitely, artists are putting in a lot of hard work for these shows. This is the culmination of their time here at Olivet, their time to finally give a presentation of what they've been doing. Developing a show for this is long and arduous work. They put a lot of time, a lot of effort into the details here, and this is their time to shine and show it off and talk about it a bit, much to their dismay in some cases. But with that, we're going to open it up. Colleen's going to talk first about her graphic design pieces, and then Sue-Lyn will come up and talk about her photography work. So with that, we'll leave it with Colleen. Help think about those questions you're going to pelt her with at the end, and put her on the spot. All right. So,
hello everybody, welcome. I did Dad Jokes Food Incorporated. It's a packaging design senior art show. And what really made me want to do packaging design is that I've always been the kind of person that I walk up and down the aisles of a grocery store and I just can't not look at everything and look at all the design of all the products. So with that in mind, I took that to when I was working up in Michigan last summer, and I noticed that they really push supporting local artists and supporting local food products, and I really loved that idea, and I liked how they, the style of the local products and everything like that. So I took that and I was inspired, and I wanted to do a really lighthearted art show, so I decided to come up with the idea of incorporating like food puns and dad jokes, because that's some of my favorite type of humor. So I have my dad to thank for that one. He instilled that in me. And so, yeah, the process was really long. So I had to first think of products that were like non-perishable, and then I came up with the names of the products, and then I came up with the designs, and I had to measure everything out. I had to go buy actual food products and fit my labels to those coordinates and measurements. Yeah, so after that I had to buy stickers and paper and stuff like that, and hand cut everything out and attach it to the food products. So yeah, that was sort of my process. And yeah, do you have any questions?
Eva always does.
Start us off.
Okay. I noticed for each of your logos you have sort of a monochromatic theme going on. Did that just happen, or did you intend to do that?
Not initially. I'm kind of drawn toward the monochromatic.
Yeah.
So that's kind of with a lot of my art. I just kind of take towards that. So somebody actually mentioned that as I was going through my process, and I tried to incorporate some other colors, but I really like to stick to the monochromatic.
Yeah, I think it works. I'm kind of glad you didn't incorporate any other colors, because it really does get your idea across.
So was it always your intention to put the labels on actual objects, or did it just kind of come to you as you were working on your label designs?
Yeah, from the beginning I decided that I wanted to put them on actual products. Anybody else?
Timidly coming to ask a question. So what was your favorite part about this process that you learned about yourself?
I think my favorite process was just coming up with the names. I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Have
you gotten any offers to sell in any stores or anywhere?
No, not yet.
Because it really looks like I could like buy that off the shelf. So.
She'll probably sell you one.
What about your process in terms of, do you do all of your work directly on the computer, or do you start on paper by hand and then scan things in? How do you do that?
I did
process?
a little bit of both. For some of them, I sketched out some ideas on paper, but for the most part, I kind of just go straight to the computer and sketch it out on the computer. Anything else? Yeah?
So tell us more about those dad jokes.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear more.
What about it?
Kind of like the joke that we just heard.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite pun?
You know, I don't really have a favorite.
It's okay. You have all these puns.
They're all my favorite. Actually, I did see a food pun, and it was for a cheese grater, and it had Jesus on it, and it said Jesus Christ, holy something. Holy. It was really funny to me. Jesus Christ.
All right. And then we have Sue-Lyn.
That's my friend, yeah.
Welcome to the show. I'm just gonna breathe. And so a lot of you got like the show cards, and I mean, if you saw it and like read it, I mean, it was kind of white, so it was hard to read. But the title of the show is Sue-Lyn. Just so everyone who didn't know how to pronounce it, that's how you pronounce it. And the word means solitary wanderer. It's just like a very pretty word that I really liked and wanted to use it, and it just seemed to work perfectly for this show. So how it correlates with my show is that all the pictures that you see are taken in two different states, California, which is where I live, and Illinois, which is where I've been at the last, well now coming up to 4 years. Both of the places have become home for very different reasons. It started out my senior year. I didn't know where I was gonna go for like college. I kind of just I don't know, like it wasn't a thing because I didn't want the idea of being at a college was not in my mind at the moment, and so all of that kind of pursued me, and I had no idea what all of it was. I couldn't pronounce Bourbonnais for the longest time. I thought it was French, and I thought that was kind of cool, and so but they pursued me. They contacted my high school and everything, and my dad by email, and it was kind of creepy, but I guess they believe you belong here, so I applied and I got in, and but it took a lot of prayer, and it's just like I've traveled beforehand, but to be this far away and then for this long has been quite the adventure, very God orchestrated, and it's become very evident, especially this last year coming in. Like, I'm not affiliated in Nazarene at all, so that's kind of crazy too. I even tried to transfer out my freshman year. I was like, okay, I think I'm good here. Maybe he wants me to go to Point Loma. And because that's also a Nazarene school, and maybe that would work, and it's in California, so I can be closer to home. But he definitely shot blocked that idea and told me that he wanted me here for a reason, and I've discovered the billion reasons of that these last 3.5 years. So yeah, I was technically born in Seoul, South Korea, but I don't have any like attachments there because I was like adopted when I was like in the incubator or whatever. So they got the phone call and they adopted this little baby, and so yeah, so California has been like my home, that all that I've known, and like my family and friends in church and everything, and when I grew up. But Illinois has been home because of the people here, and they all know who they are. Pretty much it's all of you guys. Just being surrounded by very authentic people and kindred spirits, and people that have continued to love me when I haven't loved myself in moments, and have encouraged me and pushed me in things. So it's just crazy, the two completely different like almost across the country, but somehow they've become like one to me, and it's, yeah. So even the pictures don't really like depict the places too as well, but I want to like just share my story through the pictures. I would love to hear your story at some point, one day, I don't know, but this is my like opportunity to share mine with all of you and whoever comes in here randomly and stuff. So like for instance, I'm kind of jumping up a little bit, I'm sorry. Last semester, if you had asked me like if I'm excited about graduation, I was bittersweet. I was like, yeah I am, but I'm also not. But now it's turned into completely like, I can't imagine leaving this place at the moment because of, again, the people that I've met and loved here and that have loved me back. And yeah, so that's kind of it in a nutshell, like the idea. And if you want to ask me, like, well, there'll be questions at the end, but I'll just say my thank yous now, and if I cry, I'm sorry. But I'm going to say thank you to my parents. They're not here, obviously, because they're in California. But I'm going to thank them for continually, like, again, pushing me. And my mom has always had this idea of me becoming like a famous photographer and getting her a house at Butterfly Beach. So this is like one step, hopefully, to getting to this, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And my professors, for having, even if their doors were physically closed, I knew that like mentally and emotionally I could just come in and talk to them, especially Professor Scott Dombrowski and Gary Thomas, for they always were open to like praying with me and telling me that I was good enough, or pushing me to do better when I didn't think I could. And so just thank you for that. And I want to thank my friends for just doing life with me these last years and everything, and letting me use you as hand models for hashtag on the table.
We love you, Sue-Lyn.
And doing the 1, 2, 3 jump with me, and like let me use you, even if it took like a billion times to take a photo. And just accepting my quirkiness or my need to take photos of you constantly. And so, yeah, I'm saying a lot. So, but that's pretty much it that I have to say. So thank you again, and then thank you for everyone else who's here, whether you're random or not. I'm grateful that you're here and that your presence is here to support me, to look at my work or whatever. Okay, so are there any questions?
Where did you get the quotes for your art?
Oh, they're all by J.R. Tolkien, except the very first one is actually from the movie. So, but he is like one of my favorite human beings. I can't wait to meet him in heaven. But yeah, I just looked at the images and kind of just thought like what would work best with them. And so, and J.R. Tolkien, again, is just one of my favorite authors, and I wanted to, he's really important to my childhood and to this day. So, yeah, I think that's a good question. Any other questions?
Did you plan on writing on the map mats for your pictures, or are you like planning on like maybe putting it on like on the title card, or just like?
Yeah, I'm even gonna go further back. Like, I changed my idea in the first semester about 4 times, consecutively during the career prep course, and finally I had this idea. A friend of mine told me that I had told him this idea freshman year, so it was really crazy to be like coming back to this original idea. I had forgot that I told him that, but the writing on the pictures themselves, of like the white margins, is inspired by another photographer whose name just left my head.
Dwayne Michaels.
Dwayne Michaels. Dwayne Michaels. If you don't know who he is, look him up because he has some really awesome work. And so that was kind of inspired by that. And so, yeah. Any other questions? I can't see everyone, so I don't know if your hand is up, so you might have to yell. I'm really short. Drizzy?
Hey, best friend.
Hey.
Which one was your favorite one to take?
Oh, dear.
Like if the ship was going down, you could only save one. Which one would you use?
I think my favorite one would be if you look at, I can't remember the title of it, but the one with a lot of fog and there's wildflowers on the bottom. That one. I guess it's other people's favorites. I'm glad, because that's just like my favorite spot back home where I go. I love driving. It's very therapeutic for me, and that place is like 5 minutes from my house, and I drive there when I just need alone time or God time, and it's just really beautiful, like 360 all around. So that's probably my favorite shot, just because of the heaviness of the meaning behind it and what it means to me. Thank you. Tasha?
So, were you planning to go to these locations and take the pictures, or were you just like on serendipitous adventures and something about them struck you?
A lot of them were just like, I just happened to have my camera and take pictures there. And so a lot of, 2 of them, actually, the 2 like water ones, like the one of McQuay Falls and Big Sur, the second one, and the other one was like the cave, that had just been taken during Christmas break. So it's just, if I'm on a trip, I always have my camera with me. So, yeah. Thank you. Joy?
So how'd you come up with titles for your pieces?
So back in the day when I had Tumblr and was like addicted like no other, there was a blog that had like these beautiful words that had even more beautiful meanings, and so that's where So Living It came from also. And I just again like saw the meanings and worked with how the picture looked and just kind of did that. And so if you want to know the meanings, I can definitely tell you them. They're not in my head, but they're on my phone. Yeah, so that's where they came from. So, Rebecca?
So in the future, I know you said you want to be pursuing photography more, and you love capturing the beauty of people, but your art show is all landscape. So I'm curious as to, for your future goals, if you want to pursue portraiture photography, or if you would prefer more landscape things.
I prefer landscapes because I hate telling people what to do. And so, like, as an introvert, I'm like, I don't want to be like, I need you to move just a little bit because I'm already like, that. And I like just doing all the work, kind of, like, if I move, then that's awesome. And but scenic, like, I don't know. It's more also when I take a photo, I am like taking it all in, and I just kind of take it when I feel like I should take it. I don't know. There's a quote from like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's like beauty doesn't ask for attention, and so I kind of, I don't know, feel for it. If the picture should be taken or not. So yeah. Lena, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the titles and the title of your show, is that like a language, or is it like?
No, it's actually it is English. It's just like the most random words that you never would use in a regular sentence. I mean, Mary might, but because she's like really intelligent, like you can talk to her and she's like a dictionary. It's great. I always ask her like, what word should I use for this instead of just good or something. But anyway, side note. But yeah, they're all English words, and they just happen to be really pretty. One of them, actually, I just lied. One of them is French, but
Which one is that?
the last one is like derive, not derive. It looks like derive, but it's like derive. That's how it's pronounced. But, yeah. So.
Do you know what that means?
Not at the top of my head. You can ask me in a little bit. I'll go to my phone, look at it. So. Someone else have a question?
No.
Sue-Lyn, if we all come to California, will you show us all these beautiful
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. I would love to. Just one at a time because I can't do big groups. One at a time would be great.
Teach a photo workshop out there.
One more question. So, like, you said that right now you couldn't imagine like leaving this place, leaving Olivet. But how do you feel about all the adventures that are going to come after you leave, and when you get on with the rest of your life, the rest of your career, all that?
I am just like answering this question. I am overwhelmed. I really have just given it up to God what He wants to do with it, and that's the best thing. That's the best I can do. Is just surrender what I have that He's given me, what He's given all of us. We all have talents, and so, and just wanting Him to use me, through me, use me to make His name more famous. But whatever He wants, I guess. I haven't heard anything too specific yet, but I'm just, this is like a patient waiting game. I think everyone can relate to that part of the walk. So, good question. Any more?
Well, thanks again for everybody for coming out. There might be a little food and some art left over in Brandenburg, so if you haven't been down there, go check it out real quick. But thanks for coming out and supporting them. Have a good night. Eat all their food so they don't have to take phone home. And see you next time.
Sue-Lyn, you are the best. Anything you want to say to your parents real quick?
I love you and I miss you.